Hi, my name is Yusin, and in this video, we decided to share with you a lesson from a course designed specifically for complete beginners, and it's called Trading Made Easy. In this lesson, you will learn what futures are, how they're used, and their purpose through an exciting story presented in an animated, fun format. I hope you like the lesson, and if you do, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to consistently receive videos on how to become a successful technical analyst and a profitable trader. Now sit back, relax, and immerse yourself in this truly captivating lesson.
Welcome to the Trading Made Easy course. My name is Aldo Lagrutta and I'll be your coach. I'll be introducing you to the wonderful world of trading. We'll discuss trading futures and currencies, but what you learn in this course will allow you to also trade stocks or any other financial instrument of your choice. Let's start with futures. We'll assume you know absolutely nothing about the subject, so we're going to go back in time and we'll start from the 19th century. We'll explain what futures are, how they are used, how they work, what is their purpose, etc. That should give you a good basis to understand what trading is all about. Let's imagine that we're in the 19th century and John has a farm where he has a large production of wheat. At the same time, Peter has a chain of bakeries and he is a great wheat buyer because he needs it for his business production. John and Peter may not know each other, but they have something in common: the market that is located in their nearby city. This market is called the spot or cash market. That is the place where John goes to sell his wheat and Peter goes to buy the wheat he needs for his business. It is called the cash market because it is there where Peter and the likes of Peter buy wheat in cash and receive immediate delivery. Now, both Peter and John share something else. They are both worried because in the last few years, the price of wheat has been very volatile. It goes up and down in unpredictable ways. That means that there is a lot of risk for both of them. And this is your very first trading lesson, and an important one for you to learn. Where there is more volatility, there is also more risk. Let's see why. John is worried that if the price of wheat is at the lowest level when he sells it, he may not cover his production costs. On the other side, Peter is worried because if the price of the wheat is at the highest level when he buys it, he may not cover his costs either. So, what does Peter do? He decides that he'd better speak to John and negotiate with him directly. So he goes on a horse or a chariot, remember it is the 19th century, and starts looking for Peter. He travels many miles and asks a lot of people about John until he finally finds him. They talk about their common issues and their worries, and after many hours of discussion, they have a great idea. They make an agreement in which John is committed to sell Peter 100,000 pounds of wheat on the 25th of September at $1 per pound, no matter the price the cash market is selling it for. And Peter is committed to buy that 100,000 pounds on that day at the price agreed, regardless the price that is being offered in the cash market. This way, they would not depend anymore on the fluctuations of price the cash market may have. John has secured his income at a reasonable price, and Peter has secured a reasonable price for his businesses as well. Now, they have nothing to worry about any longer, and they both get some peace of mind. Although John and Peter are fictitious characters, this is the way that actually happened, and the agreement that John and Peter made was called a forward contract. And even though it originated in the 19th century, it is still called by the same name. Now, when people saw the advantages that John and Peter were having with their agreement, many other producers and businessmen started doing the same type of contracts. This would have worked beautifully if both parties did always what they were supposed to do. But sometimes, for whatever reason, the producer of wheat or whatever commodity being contracted was not able to deliver the promised amount. Other times, for whatever reason, the businessmen were not able to buy the amount requested or did not have the full amount of money, etc. Can you imagine the type of difficulties they started to have? The first difficulty was obviously the one we just mentioned, breach of contracts. The second difficulty was more of a practical issue. Remember how Peter had to travel and make multiple inquiries to find John? Well, here we have now business owners trying to find producers of the commodities they needed for their businesses, or for the producers of the commodities to find the buyers willing to negotiate with them a reasonable price for both of them. They had to travel and research until they found their counterpart. Obviously, they were missing a meeting place where they could meet and negotiate their prices. In other words, they needed a marketplace. And that was the second problem they had to face, lack of a meeting place, a market. When you think about the details they had to negotiate besides the price, you would find that it was not easy either. They had to negotiate the date of delivery, the quantity to be delivered, the quality to be delivered. Who would make the delivery? Would John go to Peter to deliver his wheat, or would Peter come to John's farm to pick it up? So the third problem involved the different aspects to negotiate: date, quantity, quality, delivery, etc. Now, let's see how they resolved this problem in the 19th century. Let's start from the easiest one, lack of a meeting place. They created a meeting place, a market which was called futures market. It was different than the cash market, a bit more complex, because in the cash market they paid their money and took immediate delivery of what they bought at whatever price it was being offered at the time of the transaction. But in the futures market, they were making agreement for a future day delivery and with specifications that were not necessary in the cash market. Why? Because in the cash market, they saw an ear of corn, they liked it, and they bought it. But in the futures market, they had to be more specific because they were not seeing the product they were agreeing to buy. What would happen if John delivers 100,000 kilos of wheat to Peter and Peter is not satisfied with the quality of the wheat or even the type of wheat? So the futures market was a bit more complex than the cash market. However, it was a place where producers like John and business people like Peter could come to meet and negotiate a contract. They still had the chance to negotiate a forward contract with the problems that a forward contract had, or they would now have the option to come to a futures market. Now let's see how they resolved their problem. Remember, the first problem we identified was a potential breach of contract, right? Well, they simply created a department within the futures market that they called clearinghouse. The clearinghouse was to act between the two parties that participated in the agreement between John and Peter, and it would be the legal representation for each one of them. It is as if now the contract had three acting parties: John, Peter, and the clearinghouse. Basically now, John would not commit to sell wheat to Peter directly, but to the clearinghouse, and Peter would not commit to buy directly from John, but from the clearinghouse. This way, once the delivery day was due, John would deliver to the clearinghouse, and the clearinghouse would give it to Peter. At the same time, it would take the money from Peter and give it to John. But what would happen if John didn't have the wheat or the quality specified in the contract at the delivery date? The clearinghouse would be responsible to deliver it to Peter anyhow. They may get it from a different producer, but they will guarantee delivery to Peter. As for John, he will have to face serious legal troubles and consequences with the clearinghouse. What would happen if it is Peter who, once the delivery date comes, he doesn't have the money to pay John? Well, the clearinghouse will still buy the wheat from John and pay him. The clearinghouse will go legally after Peter, but John's payment is guaranteed. The next problem to resolve was the different aspects such as date, delivery, quantity, and quality. So, to simplify everything, the owners of the market decided to simply make all contracts standard. That way, there was no need to negotiate any of these aspects. The only thing to negotiate now was the price. Obviously, up to here, we have been talking about great farmers and business people, but they were not nearly enough to give volume to the futures business. And we have to understand that the futures market also was a business which had an owner and had to produce profits as well. The futures market could not survive with just the business of a few participants. So they needed those people that, although the market was not created for them, they were the ones that would bring liquidity to the markets. We're talking about speculators. Yes, traders. Now you understand what futures are and how they work.